I want you to imagine for a moment that you are sitting in a doctor's reception area waiting for your turn to see the doctor. There are two other individuals waiting in the room with you. Everybody's sitting in complete silence, pretty much on opposite ends of the room. One of the individuals makes eye contact with you and throws a tennis ball in your direction. You catch the ball and you throw it back to them. He then throws the ball across the room to the other individual who has now been alerted to the activity. This individual then throws the ball back in your direction. And you carry on with the pattern. And this game continues for a good few minutes. When all of a sudden, and for no apparent reason, you're excluded from the game. The other two individuals continue playing the game by themselves. At first, you just think that they're messing around with you, you think that they're joking, but you very soon realize that the ball is never coming back to you. I want you to imagine for a moment how you would feel, remembering that the other two individuals are complete strangers to you. Why is rejection such a powerful emotion for us, and why is it so important to build an environment of psychological safety and a sense of belonging in our workplaces? Stick around to find out why. My name is Eddie Boertes and I'm the founder of Leadership. I work with leaders and teams to build an organizational culture where people thrive. So the ball toss experiment was developed by psychologist Kip Williams and his colleagues at Purdue University. The other two individuals in the room with you that were playing the game, they were in on the experiment all the time. And their research shows that only a few minutes of this kind of treatment are enough for us to experience feelings of hurt, anger, and sadness. And here's the really interesting thing. When connected to an MRI scanner and playing cyberball, which is a computerized version of the same game that you were playing earlier, rejection triggers the same neural pathways that are activated when we experience physical pain, like a brick falling on your foot. And this type of rejection doesn't respond to logic either. Even when the participants in the study were told that the other two people were from members of an out group, for example, the Ku Klux Klan, it didn't matter. Rejection hurt equally as much. Rejection has been shown to reduce our self-esteem, resulting in a diminished feeling of control in our world, and also the feeling that life has no meaning. Now, this fear of rejection goes all the way back to our ancient roots. When our ancestors lived in tribes and survived as hunter-gatherers, the price of being rejected or being ostracized was equal to death. We couldn't survive without our tribe, without the warmth and the protection of the fire, and living apart from society meant that we didn't have a mate. So this ability to detect ostracism is a highly adaptive response to ensure survival and to perpetuate our genetic line. Human beings will go to great lengths to fit into what they perceive as the dominant culture, even if it means downplaying part of who they are. It is something that is referred to as covering or masking, and research shows that this happens to a much higher degree than we would ever imagine. A Deloitte study of more than 3,000 individuals found that 61% of people cover at work on at least one dimension. And far higher than that, 79% if they are black and 83% if they're gay. Can you imagine how exhausting it must be to continuously mask who you are? To feel like you consistently have to be somebody else to be a cultural fit? Considering that we spend most of our waking hours at work, we can do better to help individuals feel that they really belong in our teams. When organizations succeed in creating a culture of belonging, the upsides are enormous. Higher employee engagement scores, an enhanced talent brand, lower staff turnover, fewer sick days, improved productivity, better communication, and teams that are firing on all cylinders in terms of innovation and collaboration. Now, the key to creating psychological safety and a sense of belonging is to understand that our brains are deeply obsessed with it. From an evolutionary perspective, our brains are absolutely obsessed with the sense of belonging. Human beings are consistently looking out for signals from others that we belong. It's not enough that we only receive 1 or 2 signals of safety. Our brains are hardwired to receive lots of signals over and over. A sense of belonging is easy to destroy and exceptionally hard to build. We have a place in our brains that is always worried about what other people think of us, especially those individuals who are in positions of authority. As far as our brain is concerned, if our social system rejects us, we could die. So given that our sense of danger is so natural and automatic, we have to do some pretty special things in our organizations to overcome these triggers. Group performance depends on consistent behavioral cues that communicate one until next time, powerful cheers message. And have a wonderful evening. That we are safe. Cheers. And that we are connected. According to a recent Deloitte Global Human Capital Trends survey, 79% of organizations say that fostering a sense of belonging in the workplace is important or very important for their success in the next 12 to 18 months. But only 13% of these organizations say that they are very ready to address this trend. This made creating a sense of belonging the number one human capital issue. How would you rate the state of readiness in your organization to address building a sense of belonging and psychological safety? If you want to get some ideas on how to build a sense of belonging in your team and your next organization, please watch my next video. We take a deep dive into 7 practical skills that leaders can implement to build belonging in teams and in our workplaces. If you found this content useful, please like the video and subscribe to my channel for more insights on how to build an organizational culture where people thrive. That's all that I have today, folks. Until next time, take care and cheers.